welcome. We're going to record this. Is any of your team on now? Would you like to
Donna.
introduce them?
Donna is there, camera off. She's driving, I think, and then Mark Hyatt.
Wonderful. And where are you all from?
Well, we're from Asheville. We were coming to EXPCon, but we are not now. We've had some weather here.
You think just a little? How are you guys doing?
Yeah, but we're plugging in other ways though.
Okay, wonderful. So how did you hear about Wake Up Wednesday?
Jean's Generals, I think, from that.
Perfect. Good. Well, Steve, we've been doing this about 2 years now. There's going to be a YouTube channel where everything is going to be shortly uploaded. We've had amazing guests. It's open to everyone. You can invite whoever you like, the more the merrier. And I started this as just come as you are. So
we're here. All
good.
right.
So glad to hear that. Is that Mark over there? He's on your team?
He is.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Hey, yourself?
Good. Don't be shy, because I will just say, hey, what's going on? And I'll call you out. But I'm so glad you're here. I'll try not to embarrass you on your first call.
Hey.
We're good. Let's see who else is here. Oh my gosh, we got some heavy hips coming in here. Annie, how are you? Peggy, Monica, look
how are you?
Oh my God, you're not a guest and you're here on my Zoom.
Leo rolling in like,
well, I am showing a video.
Okay, good. Okay, I love that. Perfect.
It is an incredible video that, of course, I was able to get my hands on. And
nice.
I said, can I share this? And well, it is pretty freaking awesome. I have to tell you guys. So the names, as I said, have been changed to
protect the innocent.
Protect the innocent. And yeah, it's all going to be good.
I can't wait to hear it. I'm so happy.
It is beyond anything. And I want to make Ashley co-host. Got a lot of good people here today, as we always do. This group keeps growing and growing.
So we really are building something cool community.
Yeah. Cool. It is a cool community. I love it. We celebrated 2 years, as you know, and getting ready to upload all of these. And I've said this to you, yours are one of the most requested.
Oh, thank you.
Go figure.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet.
Am I going to see you next week?
Heck yeah.
Okay, cool. What day are you coming?
I'm coming in Sunday. I'm just so grateful we're not in Vegas. I can't even tell you. How about you guys?
I'm happy that we're not in Vegas, but I'm disappointed in the fact we're all scattered.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Yeah, because running into people in the hotel is part of it. Yeah,
I know. I love that. So what hotel are you in?
Lowe's.
Oh, well.
I don't know. They put me in a room. It's very nice. So
I'm sure because you're board of directors. That's right.
I know. I'm riding that wave right now. So it's all good until it's over.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Well, we'll catch up. Give Sharon a hug for me, because I adore her. Sarah, how are you?
Oh, hi, Sarah.
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm just tickled to be here. I can't be here on the whole time. I have core class today.
What time is your core class?
It's in an hour.
Oh, okay. So I have a video that I'm going to run about 10 minutes in. Hopefully Ashley's going to know how to do this for me, because I don't know how to do it. I sent it over to her. But okay, what's going on, guys? Let's get this party started on, before we get some more people in here, that I can just say we've got new faces on here. Who wants to jump in and tell us something really cool that happened this past week?
I have something to share.
Okay.
And I realized that I had been doing this, but I had never said it or put it into a sentence when helping agents or just sharing kind of, success secrets or whatever. Whenever we get a listing or a buyer, I think about turning that into 2 more deals, always. How do you take this opportunity to not only obviously do what you're hired to do, but to make sure that this turns into 2 deals next year?
2 deals. Wow. That's
Yeah.
cool.
In the way of 2, referrals. So have this listing right now. I could have put it on with a freaking squirrel nest in the middle of the house and it would have still sold. Like, it's just one of those deals, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a divorcing situation, and you guys have all probably had those, which just creates such a nightmare. And one of side is interested in spending a little money and the other one isn't. So got them on board. We're painting. We're new carpet. I'm staging. We fixed the pool, like all this stuff. I'm like a general contractor this week. I'm over there constantly. Every time she stops by, I'm there coordinating everything. Did a big clean yesterday. And she walked out of that house and she said, Monica, you are a godsend. Do you want more business? I was like, yeah. She said, I have people I will send you. This is amazing. Like, whatever. That's why we do the extra stuff, right? Not only to help our fiduciary responsibility, obviously, and whatever, but that's why we don't have to worry about where our next deal is coming from. Right, because we treat every deal like that. And it's just, I don't know, I guess it's just a good reminder. I know that's not rocket science. Nobody on here hasn't thought of that before, but think of it like, how am I turning one piece of business into 2 pieces of business afterward?
Absolutely. I love that. And, I have to say, I was talking to an agent 2 weeks ago, and they did not ask their client, where do they have an agent? Where where they're going. Sometimes we need those reminders. Ooh, and then we get to see a cute baby right now. Turn her around, Ash. Oh my God, she's getting big.
Oh my gosh, look at her. Oh,
I'm bougie to that baby.
We got some crazy hair going on this morning, but
she's so cute.
So cute. So that is a great reminder. And I had a couple of really cool things happen. Again, turning lemons into lemonade. I was flying to Florida the other day. Flight got delayed out of Denver. I'd seen this couple in Orange County and then realized that they're on my connecting flight to Denver. So we're all sitting there, we're all boarded. They made us get off the plane while they changed a light bulb. Okay, seriously, in the cockpit. And instead of being like all freaking pissed off as I normally would be traveling, when I got into the lounge, they had water and snacks. So I put my stuff down and I went over and grabbed some waters and deliberately brought them over to the 2 people that I saw in Orange County. We start talking. She is an agent with a small brokerage, and she is thinking of getting out of the business like real soon, no retirement plan. And I have lunch with her today. How cool is that? So instead of being my, cranky, oh my God, I got to get off the flight. I seriously was walking up that jet bridge thinking, okay, I've got to pivot. Because if I was telling my group about this, they wouldn't want to hear that bitchy side of me came out. And bam, was able to do that. Yesterday at Top Golf, we did a Top Golf for fellow agents here in the Fort Myers area. And one of the agents that was there has her own brokerage, 12 people. She used to be with EXP twice, guys. Twice she was with us. And so we hit it off. I'm talking, not criticizing that she's left or anything. And I said to her, do you hold office meetings? And she's, yes, on Thursday. I said, oh, I would love to come in as a coach. I would love to come in and train your agents. I'm training your agents tomorrow at 10 o'clock. All you have to do is ask. It's as simple as what Monica said, is let people know that we do want more business, talk to people, don't assume because somebody's already been with us, the door is closed. I mean, that's my gift for you guys today is if you are traveling, if you're getting on that plane and going to EXPCon or traveling, talk to the people around you. You never know. I've heard more people say that they have gotten deals in other parts of the country in referral business, which is paid for the plane fare. So just a little tip for today, guys. All right. We got a good crowd down here. I know a lot of you, I don't want you to think that Leo is live. He's not, but we got better than live. So I want to set this up. Ashley, are you able to share your screen up? Thank God. I don't know what I'd do without her. I thought she was going to be on maternity leave forever. All right, let me just set this up for you. So over the weekend, Don Hobbs had an interview with Gary Keller's Top 100. To set the stage, Gary Keller, obviously of Keller Williams, has a very private invitation only mastermind group. It's called his Top 100. He will do anything for that group. I know for a fact 5 years ago there was someone in that group who was coming to EXP, flew him to Austin because that's where the company is, and offered them $1 million. They still did not come. They still didn't stay. I'm sorry, they came to EXP. We have had a lot of top producers and a lot of Gary's Top 100. This was a video call the other day, a Zoom call. Don recorded it, and I just want you to hear how slick, how this goes. And I'm sharing this with you guys so you can hear how objections are handled before they are even put out there. So we'll get this out to you, and we want to share it. So Ashley, let's go, because this is a cool video and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Hold on. I don't know why. I don't even have audio, so you're not going to have audio. Hold on one second. Switch speakers. That's There's Don himself. Okay, here we go.
Hold on one quick second. Can you put that on pause? Don, so glad you're here. Jump in for a minute and can you set this video up for us? Just give us a quick intro on it.
Sure. So, hi guys. Good morning, everybody. So what happened is we have one of Gary's top. So Gary Keller, Keller Williams, he's got his top 100 pets that he brings in for meetings 3-4 times a year. And they all feel honored, of course, and they give him special things, and they get to touch Gary and all that stuff. So anyway, this is one of those guys. I think Leo Perea, who used to be our CEO, used to be one of them, and he called it the Chosen Sons. So you get a sense of what it means to be in that group. The guy has been watching migration out of Keller to EXP, got to us through a first level monster producer in the same office, and we got a chance to bring him to a meeting. So here I am getting ready to talk to him. We reached out to Leo Perea and said, hey, we got a Gary Top 100 guy, and can you drop in? And it was like 2 hours notice. Leo dropped some stuff. You'll hear him talk about, I got chicken wings on, I got the kids and whatever. It was like just a mini session in time. And he dropped in for it. And from my perspective, he just dropped fire. There was no team A in it. It wasn't, he was discovering, he knew what he knew from me. I'd already set it up because we'd had meetings. And he came in and just laid down, here's why we're going where we're going. Here's where we're going. Here's why we're going where we're going. And here's why we're eating up everybody. And why you're not alone. We're talking to more people just like you. And I'd love to see you wearing our jersey. So this video is awesome. It's fire. Take careful notes. There's some great stuff in here. And he just rapid fires in 15 minutes, a giant great meeting.
Okay. Roll it, Ashley. Thanks, Don. Okay, we lost sound again.
No, you're muted and
Oh.
it's.
Maybe that's why. Oh.
We had a few minutes.
Can you hear now?
Surprise for him. Have the CEO here, Leo Perez.
Did
know,
you check the box that says share the sound when you shared your screen?
It didn't ask me for that.
Go back out, and before you share, you have to click a share sound box, I think.
I agree, Monica. It sounds like it's not happening through the
Yeah, it's
system.
just playing through your
Computer.
computer.
Don, do you want to throw it up there?
I just got off a meeting and I went, I can't find it. It's
Oh,
here somewhere, but I
okay.
can't find it.
I'm sure Ashley can figure it out.
It's funny deciding which one is the live Don and which was the recorded Don.
It is. That's fun.
The anticipation is killing me.
I have it. Let me look.
Ah, I found that share sound thing.
Okay.
Yeah, they changed it.
Okay, let's try this.
Well, we had a few minutes and I said, hey, I've got a surprise for you. I'm going to have the CEO here.
Hear that?
Leo Perez.
Yes.
An icon in the industry for a long time now. But he was he's in the same room that you're in. He was Gary's top 100 in the top team in the world for Keller, and had his work with Remind, which was a huge. I'm sure you know Remind. They're a big deal, and Leo was there, and we were fortunate. We got Leo over about Leo. You can tell us, but maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. I
Yeah.
sold my last company.
Yeah, and then we were pleased when Glenn appointed him CEO, and I think Leo. First of all, Leo, I want to tell you, you're doing a fabulous job. You don't need me to tell you that, but what I do appreciate, this guy has led the charge on this whole NAR lawsuit. He's changed the way that a lot of companies are doing business, and Leo's been the visionary for a lot of that.
Thank you. No, Don shot me a text and said, you're in Gary's top 100. And as you've noticed, there's been a pretty interesting march of top producers from you guys to us. The company, Glenn was a former KW agent. I was a KW agent.
Yeah.
Kevin Kaufman, Fred Weaver, kind of. But I think there's been an interesting kind of resurgence, if you will. Rob Chavez came earlier this year. Matt Fedek came over the summer. And I can tell you there's probably 3 to 5 who've either verbally said yes, have already signed their ICA, and they're coming. And they're coming in their next 90 days. This company's had a super interesting story, which is very intertwined with KW, right? Glenn was a KW top team leader. I explain his creation of this was a response to what he liked and didn't like about KW, right? I actually never have anything bad to say about Gary. He taught me a lot. I was in his top 100. I was one of the chosen sons of the company for 15 years. So some of my closest friends in the industry, Ben Kenny, Tim Heil, Tyler Smith, we all came up together. We all founded some of the most impactful prop tech companies of the last decade while we were KW agents. So it was an awesome training ground and kind of breeding that really cool experience. But one of the cool things that's happened, I would say in the last 3-4 years, is we became the single largest independent real estate company in the world, right? And it was a slow and then quick moment. EXP really came into its own during the COVID moment. We went from 10,000 agents to 70,000 agents, a 3-year period. That's when Glenn convinced me to come hang out and help get us to operational excellence. I'm an operations data nerd, and I run the entire company like I would run a SaaS company. We've kind of gone through this crazy transformation where everything is measured and tracked, and we have an agent hotline that's 24/7 that has a 35-second hold time with 95% uptime and 85% NPS scores. We pay people faster. We answer broker questions faster. We provide as much software and technology than anybody else can for what we charge. And the really cool thing is I feel like we're now that place, that really cool energy I felt when I was at KW 10, 15 years ago, combined sold 69,000 homes. Our top 250 teams sold more homes than Real and Howard Hanna, right? Like we sold twice as many units as Compass. We sold 40% more homes than Berkshire Hathaway, which is crazy to say out loud because most people don't think of us as that dominant production-based company. And that's partly because Glenn's reaction to Gary's way of being is Gary was top down, like this is the way, you do it my way or you're a dum-dum. And Sanford's way was, hey, there's a lot of talented people, like Don has his way, Jay Kinder has his way, Brent Gove has his way, and we all kind of came up and built our own versions of the company. And that was really cool for chapter 1, but chapter 2 is we're now a scaled enterprise that's profitable and sustainable and the most dominant player in the space. And just, I said it earlier to somebody else in the top 100 that I spoke to about 45 minutes ago is we're weaponizing our size and scale, and we're using the weight we have and the advantage we have. Being a single platform makes us completely different. Where it's like, no matter how cool of an idea Gary has, at the end of the day, it's the Smokey Garrett's and Bowman Keaty's and, Lee Beavers who execute on the OPs and the franchisees who execute on whatever strategy, because at the end of the day, they're the business owners. We are the platform itself, which creates so much more flexibility and more creativity. And like, if you were to call me and say, hey, Leo, I have this idea and it works and I can operationalize it, everyone gets it, right? It's not like by region or by owner or opt in or opt out. We can do really, really cool things. And so I don't know if you've noticed, not that I'd expect you to pay attention to our headlines, but not only have we been attracting the Matt FedEx and Rob Chavez's of the world, but last couple of weeks ago, we announced Brandon Brittingham came over. A month before that, we brought over Matt Delhoun. Brandon Brittingham did 770 deals. Matt Delhoun's on track to do 1,200 deals. So it's a super interesting moment because if people are looking at us, Real, LPT, Epic, I would say year to date on the hyper productive teams north of like 400 or 500 transactions, we have 1,000% batting average. Everyone's coming here. And I think it's because not just I'm good with words, but the fact that these people are really good at math and P&Ls, and they look at the other businesses, and we're a sustainable, proven model. And if someone's looking for expansion or rev share or all the support things, the proven model is the really interesting one, because if you build rev share, unlike any other business that you may own, like title, mortgage, escrow, property management, or hell, a restaurant, that kind of rises and falls with your ability to operate. Versus if you build rev share, you are actually trusting me and the enterprise and the leadership that 5, 7, 10 years from now, the effort you put in will actually still pay you the promise that was made to you. And are you familiar with Brian Carruthers? In Empire, he's considered kind of the guru of MLM if you're building a multi-level marketing business. And I actually, did you have the book right there, Don?
No, I got it untapped. I got his other one.
Yeah, so the guy's like the goat of building MLM. And I had an event in Dallas in March, and Don was there, and I flew him out. And it was interesting because it led to a podcast. I don't know if you can find it, Don, and send it to Austin. It just came out a couple of weeks ago. And it was interesting because this guy said, look, I get pitched once a week, because he by the way, his rev share in his business in Legal Shield is 400,000 people. Like, the guy's built like the biggest rev share group you can ever build at anything. And he says once a week somebody calls me about, he calls it what, lotions and potions and mixtures, right? From services to products to anything. I'm actually supposed to be in Dallas tomorrow keynoting the Direct Selling University. So I learned by surprise that there's associations for direct selling marketing, which is MLM. But I actually canceled because I have an independent broker flying in to meet with me in Miami next week. That's tomorrow. That's 42 states, 450 agents, $1.3 billion in production. They have a very specific niche they do. But I was supposed to speak at the conference because we actually, to my surprise, we're the 3rd largest multi-level marketing company on the planet, which I never thought of us that way. But Brian was doing a small group with Don and about 100 other agents. And he said, every week somebody pitches me with what, imagine what you would do here at a ground floor opportunity. He goes, most MLM businesses, like 90% of them fail. So, if you're going to invest time and energy into this, it's a really big difference than any other platform, because you have to hope that the promises made to you in the compensation levels and the structure and the payout and the sustainability of the concept is going to be there 3, 5, 7 years after you put in the level of effort, right? Because unlike a business you own in Idaho that rises and falls with Austin's operational ability, you really have to trust that not only will be there to pay it like systemically, but also the level of service, right? That's why when I got here, my obsession was, how do you experience being at our brokerage? Because it doesn't matter how good Don is at attracting. If he sells the value proposition, you get here and it takes me 2 weeks to pay you, or like a week to sign your broker addendums, like that's going to suck, right? You're going to offboard one way or the other. So, I only had a couple minutes. I wanted to pop in and just let you put a name with a face, and vice versa. And just also tell you that I'm just so excited. I think the next 2 years will significantly look different than the previous, 20 years in the business. I think that the level of disruption that's coming from what the well-capitalized disruptors couldn't do for the last 10 years is going to happen by rules changes. And I can tell you that I've never had this level of interest from large teams and independents who just don't want the liability anymore, right? They're just like, you know what? I just approved a press release for a 20-state cloud-based company who's merging into us, who's been around for years, their press release is saying, hey, this was a lot harder than I thought. This was more expensive than I thought. Let me do what I do best, which is train, pour into people, help them level up their business, and let me give this operational beast to the company that's already figured out how to do it.
Any questions you might have for Leo real quick before he's got to go?
So the old guard, does the name Brian Ellington sound familiar to you? For 15 years, and he built maps. Like, he was the mastermind who structured. Then he spent 6 years at Realogy, and now he's our chief learning officer. And as grateful as I am that KW trained my agents, I'm actually going to start training my agents at scale, right? So launched it internally, digitally. I just did my beta in August. I don't even think Don knows these numbers. I got 109 people went through a 6-week course, brand new agents. Average was 5.4 appointments, listing or buyer agent appointments, to 1.9 either listing agreement or buyer agency agreement on a brand new agent in a 6-week sprint. We just officially launched our first one with 600 in it. And again, I'm in the phase of operationalizing and scaling all of our strength, right? Like, I feel like we have not taken advantage of being the single largest platform on the planet. And I'm just getting warmed up, but we haven't really flexed our muscles yet. And that's why I'm so giddy. Because I hope you're wearing our jersey soon and see you in person. Cool.
Okay, so let's all come back on and talk about.
Okay, I can't hear you.
Oh, that's weird.
I can.
Can everybody else hear me?
Yes.
We can.
Okay, thanks.
Now we can't hear
Ashley,
you,
you're
Ashley.
muted.
Ashley, turn up your.
Can y'all hear Peggy?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, it's me.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I was blown away when I just heard how smooth that went. Some key things that I thought, wow, I want to incorporate that. So what are the things that wowza, you're right, Monica. That's why I had to play this today. I love some of the things. I love single platform. I know we're not all going to remember everything, but when we talk about a single platform, so tell me some other things that you picked up from that besides his energy and how it was just like, I'm in. Kevin and Stacy are frozen.
I didn't know that we were the third largest MLM out there. That
So,
was interesting.
It is fascinating.
okay, so let's talk
If I
about
would
that.
promote that.
All right, I want to just pause on that for a minute. I want to talk a little bit about that because everybody associates MLM with a pyramid. They are two totally different things. So, Dawn, jump in on your thoughts on why we're not an MLM.
Well, clearly typically the MLM business revolves around products and services that are consumer driven, and real estate's not typically been in that. But again, remember guys, we're modeled after Keller Williams, and Leo didn't make any bones about it. Glenn doesn't make any bones about it. We borrowed the concept and went 7 levels, same way as they did. The difference is we did profit share versus revenue share. At the core of the whole thing, we are a real estate company, and we just have this network marketing component that is a payout. It's a revenue structure. We get paid the same way every other real estate company does. We're 80-20 split. We're 16,000. I mean, that's all apples to apples, apples to oranges. That's all just the same as any other real estate company. We have technology. We have all that stuff. We're a real estate company. So when people don't want us to be a network marketing company, they don't want us to be an MLM, we're not. We just have this component. But for those that get excited about it and see the potential for the growth and see that they can grow something beyond themselves. And again, I love the way that Leo talked about that. It's like where everything rises and falls on your abilities, whether it's a restaurant or your real estate practice, doesn't matter. Everything, I just was tracking a gal here in Dallas that, I found out it's like $100 million producer. It's awesome. And she's got a team. So she's got a little bit of leverage through other people, but that's as far as she can think. There's no other leverage source of income for her, right? Her only deal is I sell real estate, and if I buy it, I got some investments. That's it. Mm-hmm. And for us, we have a very different structure. And so, I agree with Leo. It's like hard to believe we're considered an MLM company and we're put in there with that, but it's kind of cool that by accident, we're the third largest. By the way, we kind of formalized in our head that Allison, when we heard that, Allison and I said, it's got to be, Amway and Herbalife. And it turns out it is. Amway and Herbalife are the two ahead of us. So Amway is like 70 years old, and Herbalife is started in the 80s? So however old, 50s. And we've been here doing this thing for 15 years, but really since Gene got here. 9 years, 9.5 years.
And when you talk about Amway, again, my limited belief before I understood all of this was, oh, they sell Amway. Oh, they sell Amway. Can anybody on this call tell me who is one of our top people that was involved in Amway? Kevin, Stacy, unmute yourself.
Yeah. Brent Go.
Exactly. So
looks like the skills are transferable.
I really like that Leo is basically embracing that we are a MLM. I mean, it's just a different way of thinking about it. And like you say, it's not a pyramid scheme.
Right.
They're it's two different things, but we are an MLM. We're a multi-level marketing, but so is every other brokerage. When you really think about the nuts and bolts of it, it's just a backwards MLM.
Okay. I love that.
Do you know that there's a conversation going on right now, and it's about a man who long ago was the president of NAR and is now passed many years back. But he used to say about Keller Williams that it was nothing but an MLM, and he would just dismiss it. And his daughter, who I know very well, challenged him and said, "Your company's an MLM." And of course, he had one of the largest independent real estate companies in the world, and he's like challenged by that and pissed off at her for saying it. But she proved to him, and she goes, "You tell me how that isn't exactly the same as what Keller Williams is doing. The difference is it spreads out a lot further and gives more people more opportunity instead of just you." That's what she told him. She said, "Instead of just you."
That's true.
Gary Keller's been running a network marketing company for a long time. He's just pretty much the only benefactor.
That's so true. Can I add one thing just for the group to think about too is be careful who you're talking to about the rev share piece. That's not for everybody. And I don't know if these numbers are exactly the same, but the story is the same. 88% of all of our agents have never once brought somebody to the company. They are here because we are a freaking amazing place to sell houses, which is what 88% of our agents are doing. 4% of our agents have attracted 3 or more agents to the company. 4%. So one, those stats help you combat a reputation of being a recruiting machine, an MLM or whatever. By far, what we do best is help agents build a real estate business and achieve wealth along the way by owning the company, which happens pretty easily. So just a thought, Don, I don't know how you feel about that, but I think it's important not to, I don't talk about rev share to everybody I'm talking to bring to this company.
Absolutely. In fact, it's interesting just to think about the last conversations we've had with people and where Leo went at the end with that, because again, it's just a great real estate company. And I love the fact that he talked about the production based and where we sit. And how about a shocker, guys? We sell more homes than Real and Howard Hanna. Do you understand who Howard Hanna is?
Crazy.
Go into that a little bit more, because that number.
Who is Howard Hanna?
Okay,
Why?
Howard Hanna is probably, if you look in the top independents, and we are number 1, I think you're going to find they're number 2. I think they're number 2 as independent companies. Howard Hanna was up Northeast based. And at some point in time, they started buying up other companies and they became bigger and bigger. And they are, I believe, number 2 in the independently owned companies. So they're going to be, in other words, Real, somebody like us and them, which, you know, it's like we're bigger. Our people sold more than, and I think he was only referring to the top 250 at that point. If I'm not mistaken, that was his claim. The top 250 sold more than all those companies, all those people. So again, it's staggering. And Monica, to your point, I agree. Leo proved that the top players are coming here. So if you're talking to somebody that's big, and by the way, if you're talking to somebody who's small, where do you want to be? Around big players. You want to be around people that are doing the business. And what we're doing here is the business. And I 1000% agree with you, Monica. I'll tell you, I brought over a team last year that they came for production and they knew they were never going to get into rev share. They didn't get into profit share at their former company. You can guess which one it was. They didn't get into it. And they came over for just the stock, for the better company and stock. And do you know what? He went to his room. He was at EXPCon 1 year ago. He went to his room that night, and I'll tell you something. He tracked it back because 4 years earlier, I'd asked him to come over. And when they declined, I said one thing to him. I said, all I'm asking is that if you ever make the decision, you ever decide to leave your broker and come over to EXP, that you call me first. So he did. But when they came, he went to his hotel room that night and he figured out, because he's tracking results and he knows his stuff. He went back 4 years and he tracked 4 years of, we closed 7 units this month and 6 units this month and 5 units that month and 8 units that month. And what he would have bought in stock at 5% instead of paying Gary 6. What he would have made in stock from being Icon every year for 4 years, what he would have done. He said the best he could figure it was over $1 million and somewhere less than $1.25 million that he lost by not coming over 4 years earlier. Guys, that's the big difference. We have ownership. And that's where I think, Monica, we need to be pushing versus rev share, because most people are never going to want to talk rev share. Right? But for those that think big like that, then go there.
And I'm glad you brought up the franchise fee, because it's not just Keller Williams. When you're talking to agents, ask them, Coldwell Banker or Remax or anybody else. And it's so funny when you talk to some of these small brokers, they charge a franchise fee. They're not even a franchise. Their agents have no idea, but they just have come from other companies and they assume that, oh, okay. They don't realize that's just another profit center for their agents. I mean, for them to grow and put whatever they put into their pockets.
The other thing I want to throw out there, as far as not being an MLM, is there is no rev share without production. And I think so many people forget that. And John, you said, most other MLMs are products and services. The products piece is what gets most people, is they're having to invest inventory. They're having to spend, massive amounts of money to be a part of that MLM. You don't have to spend anything to be a part of rev share. You don't have to invest in it. You don't have to, have a startup fee in it. It's 100% of all of the fees are because of your real estate production. Your $85 a month is your office bill because you're going to pay that no matter what. There is no part of that that goes to maintaining your rev share, right? There's literally nothing. And if no one produces, then there's no rev share. There's no benefit, right? And so it's everything you're already doing in the real estate production side. So
no revenue share. It's top line that comes off of any money that's coming in.
Exactly.
Who else has some good feedback or some questions about this? What were your thoughts? What did you feel like to be a fly on the wall and hear this?
I was impressed, Peggy, by his new agent thing he did, that so many produced so fast and they're so new. He said 5.4 appointments.
Yep.
I believe an average in 1 week. I think he said a week. And then listing agreements. That's really good. That's amazing. Is that the fast cap? Oh,
it is
6
fast
weeks.
cap.
Yes,
That's
the fast cap program.
Because it was a
What is
closed
the name
group, I
of the
guess.
program?
Fast cap.
Fast cap.
Yeah.
By the way,
And
guys,
yes.
today they open up registration for it today. So if you are not in there and you want to get either refired up, re-inspired, or you're new, I would absolutely push you in there.
That's me, Don. Thank you. I was just going to ask when was the next one. Thank you.
Registration
It starts
today.
November 4th.
November 6th, I think, but okay.
November 6th.
Okay. All right.
I
Jump
did it.
in it, guys.
I did the first section. I would highly recommend it. It's great for new agents, but it really also puts fire in your belly as a producer.
Janet,
I took it last time.
You guys took
Janet.
it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So just Janet, jump in because you've been in a business forever. Why did you like it as someone who has, done everything?
I liked it because two things. I'm a certified mentor, so it's really, and I've got several mentees. So for me, it's incumbent that I get as much information to share with them as I can. But what I liked about it is, and coming from 2 boutiques and a franchise, there was no training. The only reason I was successful was my background was in corporate America and I knew how to read and negotiate contracts. That was it. And if you're a new agent and you don't have that background, it's hard. And I love the fact, and I tell people, when you get your license, the only thing the license is going to do is to help you stay out of real estate jail. It doesn't tell you how to sell a house. It doesn't tell you how to create a sphere. It doesn't tell you how to farm. It doesn't tell you anything. It helps you stay out of real estate jail. You go into this fast cap and they just lay it out for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, do it and you'll be successful. It's simple.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Homework and accountability, Peggy. Homework and accountability every single week. And they track it through CSU, which they give you the program while you're in it. You get to use CSU while you're in it. So you're tracking results, which of course the company used as tracking results. So they can use these stats, right? And these numbers. So it's really, really good. It will force action. And that's why it's going to get the results it's going to get. I would highly recommend, if you are not on fire right now, and you just need inspiration, just need a kick in the butt, a retooling, just a re-up, get in there.
And Janet, I just want to say thank you as a mentor, everything you do, and the fact that you're willing to go back in and go through this training so you can really help your agents. You take that seriously. And that's really important. Thank you very much. I would highly recommend that any other mentors on this call, follow Janet's lead on that.
I got to tell you, I was talking to a top producer yesterday, and I find it funny. I was the top producer where she is currently, and I just said, I just feel I'm in my 6th year, and I just feel like I need to talk to you about this and share stuff with you. And can I buy you coffee or lunch or whatever? And she goes, nope, it's a waste of time. I'm very happy where I am. I like the Sotheby's brand. And so I did what Jean tells you to do. I said, I totally understand. We love happy and contented agents.
Mm-hmm.
I was one too, until I saw EXP.
Perfect. Love that line. Who else got a nugget from this? Did we cover everything there?
I think it's interesting. He mentioned Canzel Real Estate. I don't know that he mentioned it by name, but Canzel is the, well, it's already public, so it's not like that's a secret. But Canzel was a competitor of EXP for quite a few years in the last 5, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. She wanted to do it herself, and she was getting some traction. And so I thought that was really interesting when I saw the announcement that she's joining EXP. Because she's like, why would I spend the time and energy going through and setting up all of the operations in all of these states, and the licensing and the fees and the insurance and the staffing and all of that? And I think that's the power of EXP and the one platform that so many agents miss, and so many brokerages are now going to be forced to start looking at, because of the cost of living, because of rates and production being down, because it just doesn't make sense to exponentially spend more when you can eliminate so much of that by putting all of your production and joining EXP, because they're doing that for you, right? That is a massive amount of leverage, exponential leverage, that you can't get on your own and by yourself.
Ashley,
so why keep spinning your wheels?
Ashley, that doesn't even include our international expansion. The future growth of this company is
I agree.
International.
Global.
I mean, our international agents 5, 6, 7 years from now will dwarf the domestic numbers.
Right. Right. I agree. So yesterday, when I was talking to this independent broker, what I loved was her answer when I looked at her and I said to her, Heidi, let me ask you something. Since you left EXP and you've gone out and done your own brokerage, talk to me about your production. Where's it gone? And now that you own your own brokerage, how's your family doing with that? How much more freedom has it given you? The color drained from her face, her body language changed, and we all know where that was going to. She's working harder. She is reinventing everything. And that got to that pain pleasure. And whenever you can do the pain pleasure type of thing on a question, if you don't know anything else to say to an independent broker, say, tell me about your day. How is you're still selling. How's your business doing? Spot on. You will hit them with that pain. So you can give them freedom. You can give top producers freedom, and you give brand new agents education like this on their time too. They're not driving back and forth to an office to do all this. This is good. We've got 10 more minutes, guys. Okay. What else?
I'm curious. Do we know how the conversation ended after Leo spoke to the top producer?
Don would.
Yeah, of course I do.
Great question, Janet.
He just committed night before last. So he's
Awesome.
gonna
Congratulations.
thanks.
Congratulations.
He and a team of 3 others, they do 150 units a year and they're on their way. So he's working out details now. We're setting up all the team support people and all that stuff to make it happen. So
Don,
so when that happened, by the way, once he does that, I got a text from Eric Golden, who I don't see right now, but he was here. Eric asked if we could send this out. So we're not sending it out right now, only because there is a blip of who the guy is, and I just want to make sure it doesn't get out before he's over. We don't need
Sure.
Gary Keller throwing big money at him going, don't leave, I'll give you $1 million or some stupid thing, which he's been known to do. So as soon as he's over, we will be happy to probably do the whole unedited version, which has him in it, and the real conversation, all that stuff will come out. So we have that.
So this version of Wake Up Wednesday is going to be delayed. It's not going to be posted, guys. Don, what
Thanks,
it?
Peggy. I appreciate that.
You're
Actually,
welcome. I want to respect privacy. I want to have access to this stuff in the future. Don, what do you think it was that helped him? And when you got on the call, where was he at in his decision making? Walk us through this process and how long it took. And what do you think it was that finally he said, okay, I got it?
That's a great question, Peggy.
Okay, so I'll give you the answer to that. I want to say, I wanted to go back into the video for a quick second before we go there.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you the whole process. There's so it's been said, but I want to make sure you guys get this. We're the largest independent, guys. We're the largest independent company. And there's a part where if you just get a few of those stats, our top people sell more than real. We sell more than real. We sell more than just those people sell more than Real and Howard Hanna. We sell 40% more homes than Berkshire Hathaway. So you're sitting there at Berkshire Hathaway. Our top 250 sold more than your whole freaking company. Okay, so again, pull a few facts that are going to help you grab people's conversation. And then I love the fact that he said we're our platform, a single platform. I don't know how this lands with you guys. When people are thinking about changing companies, and even to Janet's point about this woman who doesn't want to leave Sotheby's, I love the brand. Well, first of all, it should never be the company's brand that makes a difference, ever. And of course, I'm the guy who has said that from 40 years ago. So it's your brand. And if they understood that, and here's how I would challenge that, Janet, and you want to be respectful. She's happy where she is. Okay. But I have a question for you. How much has the brand that you're with been part of your success? Meaning, how many calls do you get because you're at Sotheby's? And would you not get those exact same calls if you were anywhere? Because it's your business. It's your business. So twist that. It's your business, and you're deciding what platform is going to support your business. You're not joining a company. You're not joining EXP. You're bringing your business to a place that you've decided will support your business in a way that you've not had that support. That's what this company is. It's a platform. I feel like somewhere in the last few weeks you had this up, Peggy, but there's that one single PDF that shows 5 columns worth of all the benefits of EXP, and it has a link on each one of them. Do you know what I'm talking about? If not, I'll bring it to you next week.
Can you? Thank you.
Yeah. But it's like, here's all these tools. We have 10 different or 7 different lead generation platforms. We have so many different platforms in every area where you want to be successful. So I just want to say that, remember, we're a platform. They're not joining a real estate company. That's how they're going to think, because they think small-minded. When you get to somebody like this who's thinking about building a company across many agents, across many states, then it doesn't make sense. I'm bringing my business to a platform that supports my growth. Okay, so that's one thing. Let's go back to your question. So he came over, and his thoughts were these: I'm either going to stay where I am. It's not an unhappy place. I like it. I'm part of Gary's top 100. I have some advantages. I've got people pouring into me, including Gary Keller himself. I'm going to Real, or I'm coming to EXP. That's exactly where he started the conversation. So I wanted to dispel the Real thing. And of course, Leo did a great job of that too, because again, in Gary's land, people would be talking about leading with revenue, profit matters, all these things, by the way, which is interesting because most of their teams don't have the profit that everybody thinks they do. But what I would also suggest is that when Leo started looking at, talking about profit, the first thing I said to him before Leo's conversation, the first conversation we had is, I would think that if you're following Gary's, idea of leading with revenue and having all that, you would want to be part of a company that was fiscally responsible. And Rio is $200 million down, and we are $100+ million in the bank and debt free. So I'm just thinking that might in itself separate out your thoughts.
200 million with a lot of outside investors that
Yes.
are not real estate agents, that are not, real estate driven. Whereas we are mostly internal agent owned.
70% agent owned, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, that was already moving that direction by the time we got off the phone that day. And not with Leo, but our first day, he was pretty much out of the real situation. But when he listened to the possibilities of the expansion and the things that he was thinking about doing, multi-state and building a team and all those things, it became clearer and clearer that he either needed to stay where he was or he needed to come to EXP. Leo, I think, brought all the firepower. As soon as this meeting was done, I set up another meeting the next day, and I had him introduced to another one of our beta people who came over with 30 agents on a team in his same state, by the way, and had them have a conversation. And by the time that meeting was done, what he said to me was, you've completely given me, he said, Russ told me, the guy that sponsors him, Russ told me that you could connect me to everybody. He said, the fact that I've already met the CEO of the company and I'm talking to these people, he said, I can clearly see that I need to be joining you, that you're connected to the world, and that I need to be joining EXP. So we're coming.
Congratulations.
We're coming. So use the power of the Monica Weeklies, use the power of the people that are, in this room, use the power of the Gene Fredericks, use the power of the other people. Don't try and do this stuff yourself, guys. The first thing the reason that Leo was there is because I was getting ready to have this meeting in about 3 hours with this guy. And I'm like, I need somebody that's going to blow him away. And Allison said, well, let me get Leo. So Allison was the one that, while I'm working on what I'm going to do to get this guy, she's like typing to him and Leo goes, I'm on. So, Leo was that accessible. With 2 or 3 hours notice, he was with us. Leo has said, put me in, guys, put me in, coach, right? I want to be part of these meetings. I will get them. I want them. So if you've got, don't put them in with a newbie, don't put them in with an agent that's doing $2 million, use them wisely. Don't be silly and don't abuse the privilege, but know where you are and know that you've got a CEO who is that active and that, focused. And then realize, of course, you've got Gene Frederick, who everybody thinks is retired and goofing off. He goofs off, but he is all in. We had a meeting with him on Saturday with a top team at his lake home and blew him away. And we got a signature. We had a signature on a piece of paper, which is funnier than hell. But he said, will you sign this and that you're coming? And they said, yes, we'll sign this. So we've got them signed up. We've got another team then of 4 more people coming that do a whole lot of business, a top 30 under 30, and a former president of NAR that are coming as a result of that meeting. So again, guys, bring in the big troops, bring in Peggy Delano, bring in Gene Frederick, bring in Nicole, we brought in Ashley first up because she's got this numbers mind and she's so smart and knows so much about how this system works. Bring in who you have to bring in to make this stuff happen.
I'm jumping out of my skin right now because as a former team leader for Keller Williams over 16 years, and I will never say anything bad about the company, the problem was when we were talking to the local agents of these offices, every other KW around me was a franchise. So we had no support, guys. We couldn't bring anybody else in. Gary Keller was never going to get on a a call with me and my regional director, to be very honest with you, the ones who own the region, they were going to side with the office that was more profitable than you were. So to have this support it's beyond, because we all own the company, we all come together. And I'm so stoked. I'm so psyched for these calls. Yeah, you leverage. I do have people on these calls that call me. I call Ashley. I call Dawn. I call other people. I call Monica. I call whoever I need help with, and, Leo is approachable. He's so cool. You don't want to abuse the privilege. I told you guys I went to my local coffee shop 2 months ago when Leo was vacationing for a month in Dana Point, and he shows up at the coffee house and he's got a recruiting appointment with the top producer for somebody else in the area. So you got all of us. You are never alone in this company. That's the cool part. Ashley, you have done numbers, you help with people. Just quickly, if someone is going to talk to a top producer, what would you say? Don't talk about their numbers. Get somebody who really knows, because that's where your mind goes.
Well, I think, I wasn't a team leader, guys. I'm not a salesperson. I don't like to ask, and I don't want to be told no. So I never took that job. I did not want to have to be accountable to the appointments and the, closings and all that stuff either. And so when I say that average, and I know a lot of you haven't been team leaders before, but that the national average for recruiting is about 25% closing ratio. So everyone at KW knows 2-10-40, 40 appointments a month will gross you 10 agents a month. Right. And so that's 25%. When I do numbers, my closing ratio is 50%. 50% was my average closing ratio, because I was giving them the specific, tangible numbers of their business and their production, and saying, here's what your current business model nets you. Here's what your EXP model will net you. And so when they can tangibly see their specific business in black and white on paper, it's a lot easier for them to make that decision than to just arbitrarily go, oh, just trust us. We're capping. We have rev share, all these things. And so it took away the guesswork of, is this a good, sound financial business decision, or am I just hoping and praying like usual? So that's not to toot my own horn, but just the concept of looking at their business and treating it like a business and more like an M&A conversation. Even if they're just an individual agent, they still deserve to know, and they still deserve to treat it like a business. And so that's where I would say, and I'm still doing those conversations. I just did a new template for a group last week.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm saying, if you don't know your numbers, don't try and talk to somebody about theirs.
True.
Trust me. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Another fast-paced call. I love this. Next week, we are not going to have a call unless someone is going to text me and say, hey, they want to do it, because some of us are going to be at EXPCon. If you're going to be there, please, please, please reach out to me. Let me know. We all want to get together. And Don, talk about what you're doing with Gateway.
Well, last week when I was here and we did the marketing talk, and we had people take advantage of it. But what I also knew was on Friday night, I said we had a code for Peggy. It was Wake Up was the code to get a special rate. Instead of $777, it was $197. $197. And so we put the code up. Anyway, somebody texted me on Saturday and said, can you put the code back up? So anyway, I set the code on fire again. It's good till Friday of this week, and then it's gone. But if you're going to go, I put the link in the in the chat box and the code, and go get it, and quit putting that off. Love to help you with that. And we will see you guys soon. And Peggy, by the way, Ashley, you don't need to toot your own horn. Peggy and I, and anybody who has ever been around you and knows your brilliance and knows how you interacted with people and blown people away, we'll toot your horn. You are amazing. So thanks for everything you do.
I
Thank
mean
you.
that.
I'm so sad I'm not going to be at EXPCon with you guys next week. So
I am too. This is like our
And-
first one in years.
I know.
Oh my God. And so I'm rooming with Nicole.
Yeah, y'all check on Peggy for me because she's going to be sad without me.
Very sad. All right. You guys are the best. And I will talk to you. I'll see you guys in Miami. I'm so stoked. And I will let you know how my training goes with this company that I'm just pushed myself in the doors to do their training tomorrow. You got to ask, right? You just got to ask.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys. Thanks, Don.
Congrats.
Thanks,
Congrats,
everybody.
Peggy.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you, guys.
Ashley,
Bye.
let's see you at Ring again. Where's that ring you have?
Oh,
The
this is my
pacifier.
this is my new ring, guys.
Our new accessory for
Yes.
2024.
That's
25.
super funny.
I
I
love
saw that. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you.
Bye, guys.
it. Bye.
See you in Miami.
See you in Miami.